Well, welcome once again to the Friday Devotional. John Miller here, and good to be with you, Friday Faithful. Um, I want to encourage you to read a rather strange book in the Old Testament, the book of Judges, and to read it in the New Living Translation, which is not really a translation, it's a paraphrase. But in reading it, it's very colorful and in some ways graphic. I mean, no matter which translation you read or version, it's graphic. But the Book of Judges is a time period um, in the Old Testament history that was very, very sad, where everyone did that which was right in their own eyes, not unlike our day and for many in the culture that we live in and in many places in the world today. So yeah, I would say if you haven't read it in that particular version, it would be like reading it for the first time in some ways. Okay, today we have a number 6 installment of Wisdom from Proverbs, learning how to view life from God's point of view. That would be one definition of wisdom. And we come to the subject of money, what the wise understand about money. And I'm just going to read some of the scriptures. And it's amazing. The richest man probably ever in history was Solomon at his high point. And he speaks about money in this way. In 12:16, this is all from Proverbs, better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and turmoil with it. Well, that's rather obvious, isn't it? He doubles down when he says in 15 verse 17, better is a dish of vegetables where love is than a fattened ox and hatred with it. So we can grow up thinking that money solves all problems and creates happiness. But this says something contrary to that. In fact, 17:1 says, better is a dry morsel and quietness with it than a house full of feasting with strife. So this is a reality that money can't buy you love. Money can't buy you peace. Money can't not buy you joy. And so Solomon points this out. One of the things I did with our sons at a certain age and stage is we'd go to a mountain and we'd park there in the parking lot behind the A, and then we would walk up and sit at the top of A Mountain where you have a spectacular view of the city, and I'd talk to them about different sectors of the city life and the people that were living there and what was going on inside the hearts of the people living there. Obviously the poor section in South Tucson and the wealthy section up in the foothills, and talked about how the wealthy, it's not guaranteed that all those houses are filled with happy people whose marriages are staying together and all is well. That they can have just as many heartaches and issues as those in the poor section of town, and just trying to help our boys understand something that money cannot solve. Proverbs 11:28 says, he who trusts in riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like the green leaf. 18:11 says, the wealth of the rich is a fortified city. They imagine it an unscalable wall. It's just putting trust and confidence and security in how much money I have in the bank or how much money I have invested. It's putting security in that. And we feel insecurity without it, security with it. And imagine it an unscalable wall. Well, it is scalable because it can flee. 1 Timothy, going to the New Testament, 1 Timothy 6:17 says, instruct those who are rich in this present world not to be conceited or to fix their hope on the uncertainty of riches, but on God who richly supplies us with all things to enjoy. So he's not knocking the rich there. The scriptures don't put down the rich, they just caution the pursuit of riches. In Proverbs 23, 4 and 5, do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Cease from the consideration of it. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings like an eagle that flies toward the heavens. In other words, you don't live to become rich. That should not be your main pursuit in life, but it is a powerful temptation when you start enjoying the fruits of what wealth can do and provide for us. And you can never get enough. You can never have enough when your desire is to pursue more and more money. I remember someone came into my office and said, John, I'm in trouble. I've got debt that my wife doesn't know about, and it's substantial. And my job took me to casinos where I fixed, I think it was air conditioning or lighting or something there, and he had the job of going to casinos. Well, one day he put some money down on I don't know what it was, hearts or whatever it was. Well, he won a ton of money. I mean, like $20,000 he pulled out. Well, in his mind, he's going, man, this is the way to make money. And the worst thing that can happen to you in a casino, or the lottery, guess, particularly a casino, is to win a lot of money, because then you think you can win more. And so he did. He went after and started losing, and extracted from his savings money because he thought, yeah, I'm going to hit it big. I've got to hit it big. And wow, he went into great debt. So I had his wife, and he'd come in, and he had to tell her the facts, and boy, it was something else. He's doing fantastic today, by the way, handles money very, very well, and is quite a godly man, but it was a tough haul there. So this is what the wise say about money. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.